Hello. Hiya and welcome to Snail Baby Tarot. This is your snail speaking. Today we're doing a Snail Baby social. My best friend Birdie here is with me to help me read tarot. That's her hand. So today we are looking into your past life energy and how that's influencing what's going on with you in your current life. We have 5 groups to choose from. We're going to be doing some pre-shuffled tarot and then drawing tarot on camera as well, just to kind of compare and contrast what was happening with you before and what energy you're bringing forward with you now. So, do you want to show the rocks?
Hi, welcome to Snail Baby Tarot. I am taking over. This is a hostile takeover. I'm here to show you some beautiful rocks, and if you feel inclined to be group number 1, this could possibly be Jasper. It has a lovely through line. I love the possibilities of this stone.
It's like lightning.
Oh, it really is. And then this little beachy stone, I think it is just a shell that has been worn down over time. A very vampiric group 3 bloodstone sort of feel, but not bloodstone.
It's probably Jasper, but we don't know. It's a mystery.
I mean, you can appreciate rocks without knowing what they are.
Completely. It's better that way.
And this lovely sort of spring green.
This could be bloodstone.
It could be bloodstone.
Ironically.
Very summery. This multicolor, sort of flat, very layered stone. Hard to show up on camera, but if you like colors and feel very complicated, maybe this is the reading for you, group 5.
Mm-hmm. So those are the 5 groups that we have for you. If you have an intuitive way of picking the groups, you can pause the video now, tune in and turn on, check in with your own energy, see if there's anything here for you. If you already know your group, the timestamps are below. Thank you for tuning in.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy the video. Bye. Hiya and welcome if you picked group 1, this teeny tiny little piece of Jasper, we think. So we're going to start off your reading with a little bit of the past life energy, and then we're going to check in with how this is influencing your current life, and then we'll pull some tarot as well. Okay. I'm going to start with these archetype cards. So we have the Prince, the Monk or the Nun, and the Goddess. So this, in a past life, it just feels like you were very, whatever you were doing felt very upstanding. Yeah, you feel like you had a highly romantic nature, even if it wasn't specifically like romantic or sexual. It felt like maybe you idealized things.
Yeah, if you have the Monk or Nun energy, then you feel very right with the world, right with yourself, like you're doing the correct thing.
Yeah, and the Goddess is giving me like some kind of overarching ideal that you were in service to.
Which is all very, very beautiful. Let's see what else. Okay.
Very self-assured. You were like, I trust myself.
Oh, yeah, no, I would love to have that ego. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow. So in a past life, I feel like the things that you put your emotional energy into, you were very successful and you got a lot out of it, really. You don't seem like someone who questioned their emotional motivations very much.
Yeah, with this guy, don't worry, you can do no wrong. He is like, he's just giving himself a little haircut there, and it just feels like you live the type of life where you could do almost anything that you wanted and people would understand it. They would just make room for you, even if it wasn't the social norm.
You could have been very attractive also.
Right, that really helps.
I keep thinking of On the Mighty Boosh when Noel Fielding, his character gave a boat captain a mullet without telling him, and then when they got kicked off the ship, he was like, it's all about context. Like, he didn't apologize or back down.
Absolutely, yeah, you didn't back down. You just were yourself and felt very right and like you belonged in the world. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Super. I'm very happy for you.
I'm really curious to see what the present life energy is like compared to this.
Yeah, let's see what carried forward.
So now we have the disseminating water moon, commitment. That's interesting. So there's a through line from the 4 to the 5 with these moons, and then 2 paths. So that's very interesting. So it feels like you are building off of the momentum of what you experienced in your past life, but maybe you're changing course a little bit.
Yeah, things don't seem quite as easy.
Yeah, I mean, this life could be an opportunity for you to grow and expand and try new things, and it might be hard to leave behind what you had achieved in a past life.
Yeah, that's A-okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and then your card from Morgan's Tarot is somewhere there is an energy leak. So yeah, I feel like less confidence in this lifetime.
A little bit less confidence, yeah.
This is interesting too because this moon mansion is partly in Scorpio and partly in Sagittarius. So we're moving from an energy that feels like Scorpio is fixed water. So there's this really self-assured energy where what you feel feels right to you and you trust that feeling, versus then going into this expansive explorational Sagittarius energy. So it could be that in a past life you had a lot more focus and
if this feels very insulated, honestly, like you probably weren't very exposed to the world. You were a big fish in a small pond. And then over here, you're actually interacting with a lot more of the world and facing a lot more challenges. And it's very difficult to carry in this very self-assured feeling over here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It does feel like if you feel like you're really struggling with how you interact with the wider world and your confidence in how you carry yourself, it could be because you're kind of resonating with this past life where you kind of had everything within your own reach and you didn't have to struggle as much with your community and the world around you. And now it's kind of like you're really pushing beyond your older boundaries.
This card, the somewhere there is an energy leak, just kind of makes me feel like you aren't as fully committed to this life now because you had it so good in the past. You're just like, no, I've seen what it can be like, and this isn't it. So I'm just gonna check out for this lifetime until it gets good again, and that might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, you could be a big fantasizer, someone who switches back and forth with this 2 paths card. You could be someone who kind of puts energy over here and then you like switch over here and then over here, because it is like it might be overwhelming this lifetime with like all the how it isn't like a sure thing is kind of the feeling over here.
Yeah. Do we want to pull some tarot?
Oh, do you want to look at the connected one first?
Yeah.
Okay. So cosmic connection, that's interesting. So this card is kind of like representing the through line of energy, what you're learning and what's changing between lifetimes.
With the 11 here, there's a lot of strength to be had. You could be pulling from this and getting strength from your past life, or knowing or having this feeling of this dissonance that you might be experiencing right now could be draining you. So it's either or, but there's an opportunity here to pull a lot of energy into your current life.
Right, yeah, no, that I feel like this energy leak, this could manifest as you dissipating your energy and putting it into things that don't really actually help you grow, or if you pull your focus and attention toward this energy leak, it ends up connecting you back toward your sort of like cosmic through line.
Yeah, there's an I don't know if this will show up very well, but there's a visual connection here between these 2 cards, and it feels like there's a very direct connection. This is really strong with you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like the whole point with going from the full moon to the waning moon, obviously, like, leaving the full moon energy behind is on an unconscious level going to feel unsatisfying, or like you're missing out, or you're not as big as you used to be. But it feels like this is actually just a natural part of your growth and development.
You have to know what it's like.
You do. You have to be a waning moon.
Yep, you have to do it. I'm so sorry.
It's not as fun as this, for sure. So do you want to...
Yep.
Okay.
You can do it.
This shit up here. want to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Makes sense, I guess. You're the past life.
I am the past life. All of them.
That's a lot.
It's too many things. It's too many things. I will take. Don't take this.
No, it's just short. Shadow. The beast. Swords. Sorry. We're multitasking. The Three of Swords. Anything else?
I don't know. Yeah, the shadow energy here is strong.
You have the Shadow and the Ten of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
This could have made, you could have been a seeker in a past life. That's why this monk and nun energy is here, because maybe where you came from was not enough, and so it caused you to seek out this larger than life, like goddess energy, full moon fulfillment energy.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the Five of Cups. Again, this really resonates with monk and nun.
Yeah. The star.
The Witch of Discs. I feel like you definitely achieved in a past life. The Witch of Wands. And then here's the Star.
Bottom deck energy.
With the Empress as well.
Yeah, my overall impression of this is definitely like you didn't start out with our first clarifying cards. It felt like maybe you were just born into
With Prince.
into good luck. You know, you just had good fortune. But these cards make me feel like you made your own fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And you made it happen for yourself.
Yeah, with Goddess, Star, and then the Empress underneath the star, I feel like you really, really unlocked this like divine feminine creative energy and really aligned yourself with an incredibly powerful like spiritual force.
Mm-hmm. And the Five of Cups, there's just this sense of devotion here.
Yeah, totally.
Throughout this whole, there's something that really pulled you forward. There's something that you really cared about and kind of made everything easy for you once you found that through line.
And you might not have that in this lifetime, and I feel like that will really hit you on a super emotional level. It'll hit you really hard to not have that, this beautiful star to follow and guide your life by.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like where you came from, it just was not spiritually nourishing, so you had to like strike out on your own with the Beast of Wands and follow your instincts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you broke apart what you thought you knew about the world and let yourself open up and become something new, and that fed you.
Yeah, the divine inspiration here is really strong with the Three of Swords and the Witch of Wands underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like you could have been someone who like had these incredible like eureka moments that set you on a whole new path, and it was kind of like something that hadn't been modeled for you. It was like, it came from your devotion to your cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it kind of really does come back to that. The silly guy, you can do no wrong. You really cut a new path for yourself. And you didn't think twice about it because you were called to do it.
Yeah, there's a heavy instinctual energy with both the Beast and Witch of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, coming out of the Shadow of Wands, it's like you maybe had people in your life, or you looked at society in general, and you were like, I'm not going to be like that. That's not me. That doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, maybe where you started was such a contrast to what you wanted. And this current life might not have as much contrast to fight.
Yeah, that's true, and it might make your path a lot more... It's weird, it's like, it's true, like, with having this lack, it made your path so clear, and what you built for yourself, you were so successful, but it was because you had, like, these anti-role models.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, with this, especially with two paths being here, I feel like you could totally get completely lost in which way to go. Like, you feel like you have too many things you could do or
too many possibilities. Yeah, and then it just drains your energy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at least that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
It makes perfect sense. Do we need any more?
I feel good.
I feel good.
Okay.
Cool.
I want to check out the current resonance.
I still want to be able to see them.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Okay, so do you want to show?
Okay, we got King of Cups, Twilight Hue, Four of Wands, very acrobatic energy.
Oh, I think both of these.
Okay. And the Eight of Cups.
Okay.
I don't know the order.
It's okay.
And then the Nine of Cups, so there's a progression here already. Very emotional lifetime.
Yes, for sure.
Prince of Cups.
That one came out reversed too. Like it felt very pointedly reversed.
Okay.
I feel like unconsciously you do realize that you had more in a past life and it brings this sadness.
And then we have the Two of Cups.
Jesus.
I think, yeah. Okay, some thought. Prince of Swords.
Okay, and your bottom deck is Justice. Okay, wow. Okay. You have big bottom deck energy in both of these lifetimes. And Justice and the Star are both 8s. Is this Justice an 8? Yes. So, I guess I'll just put that there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like this lifetime is really resonating with the past lifetime with Justice being there. Trying to get all the energies balanced properly and aligned.
No, the Justice and the Star do really vibe.
But it feels like easier on this side, for sure.
Right, the star is clear. The star is the star versus Justice needing to align things and make things happen.
Yeah, Justice is very conscious, and that's where you kind of ended with this Prince of Swords.
Okay.
So yeah, when this lifetime...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
This feels like you're seeking emotional balance, but you're doing it all in your head. This wish fulfillment in your Nine of Cups.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of that thing like, what's the meme? World, you better watch out when I start doing yoga and eating right.
And sleeping more
and
than
sleeping
8 hours.
correctly. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
You can see yourself as an emotionally balanced person, but it's also not something that you're acting out in the world yet.
True, and with the Prince of Cups reversed, I do feel like what you're trying to manifest or be is this King of Cups, but you might be in more of an unbalanced or immature energy at this time.
Which is fine.
Yeah, no judgment.
Yeah, absolutely no judgment. So Prince of Cups reversed, and then the Four of Wands. So maybe a lot of your energy has been going towards your like creative stability, making sure that you have forward momentum and what brings you joy in your life.
For me, like the Four of Wands, I always interpret that as a message to tell you that you have everything you need right now in your world at this time, instead of looking for this energy to come from anywhere else, to see it as it's already in your life.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to focus so hard on it. It's there. And then Eight of Cups and then Two of Cups.
This lifetime, you may be more preoccupied with love and romance with this energy. And
it's been a heck of a few years, and the world has been really hard to interact with.
Yeah.
And love and romance is a wonderful distraction.
That's true. And also just think in a past life, things like this, love, not even romantic love, but love may have come more easily with the way you were living.
I don't get that vibe at all.
Well, I mean like love, like divine love may have been channeling through you.
Yeah, like I feel like you didn't have time for love in this lifetime.
Oh, sure. I mean,
now you're making up for it here. That's what it feels like to me.
See. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I was just thinking, like, if you had this incredible monk goddess like this energy, you may be like wondering where that is and trying to like they say that like in the modern age God is romantic love. Like we look for salvation through a partner. And so in a past life you may have felt salvation through a divine source, and now you're trying to find that divine source through people.
Yeah, there's like, not to be too cliche or anything like that, but there's just this space that's been created in you that needs to be filled with something, and instead of sitting with that emptiness and appreciating it for the lesson that it can teach you now, you are trying to fill it up with something else.
And that's the energy leak, really.
Yep, that's the energy leak.
It's hard to go from a full moon to a disseminating moon, though, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. This does not seem easy.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't talk about the consequences of living multiple lifetimes and that influence. I mean, there's no guidebook. They didn't teach you this in school. It's okay.
I mean, with the Prince of Swords, you could be learning right now. This is a learning lifetime, really.
Right. Wide open to learning.
Yeah, and we have a really strong shift from all of this, like, emotional, intuitive energy to randomly end up on the Prince of Swords. And so this is really taking a step back and, like, becoming conscious and aware of these emotional resonances that are so important.
I mean, if you're here listening to a tarot reading, I assume you're trying to wake up, right?
Yes, one hopes.
One hopes.
Yeah.
Any clarifiers for this, do you feel?
Do you want to ask anything about this Prince of Swords energy?
I get a very strong awareness vibe, but if you would like to talk about the Prince of Swords, I am not opposed.
I mean, I don't know what I think when I look at his strange little face.
You do fixate on faces.
Oh, sorry. I'm a human person. I was made to look at faces. I can't help it.
I'm just looking at the sword.
Oh yeah, his big old sword.
Yeah, that's my preoccupation.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess the ultimate with Prince of Swords and Justice is abundant energy. Where ultimately this is a transitional point in your cycle, I guess.
Yeah. It feels like it.
We're transitioning from a more intuitive flow into a more analytical one, almost.
Yeah, or trying to. It just feels like you've been coping with something that you didn't know how to describe and you couldn't ask for help about, and you've been doing the best that you can. And these are big shoes to fill. I wouldn't know what to do in your place.
I mean, yeah, do you want to pull any last advice cards, I guess? That could be nice.
That could be nice.
To close us out.
Yeah.
Ace of Pentacles.
Cute.
Let's see if we can get it to show up.
We can do it.
Yes, there she is. The opportunities. There are opportunities in this lifetime. They are here. It might feel like a lot of sadness, but there are opportunities here once we really start to see them. Oh, Queen of Wands, and you are,
nice.
Yeah, you're very capable of being
Powerful.
attractive. Yeah, and that resonates with this from your past lifetime, the Witch of Wands. Yeah, definitely with the Four of Wands. I feel like taking a minute to look into your own energy field and take stock of everything you truly have, even if it's not in the physical. Strength. Nice. And that was 11 again. You got another 11.
That resonates with your connection card. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, and I just want to say this strength card does involve a knight. This is not the normal strength card. He's defeating a dragon by showing the dragon its reflection. So definitely with the Prince of Swords and this strength card, self-reflection is kind of your key to closing up this energy leak.
Okay. Any last words here?
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The wheel. This is a step in your journey and your growth. You're not on the wrong path. You're where you should be. And these challenges are here to teach you, as annoying as that might be.
I mean, really, it is showing you where you are. And that, I feel like with that Prince of Swords, that is what you want to know. You might feel that, you might instinctively know that there's an energy leak. Things might just be a little bit harder for you. You might not feel quite right in your body or in your life, or when you wake up, you don't feel rested. So it just could be manifesting, and you want to know why, and this could be why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. This is just a difficult transition, and you are getting through it. You're doing well.
Now this has popped up twice, so we'll call that good.
2 of Wands. Again, with 2 paths. It's your choice how you want to move forward with this. You do have options. And I just feel like this is just about aligning with your proper energy instead of feeling what you lack or what you're missing, to look at ways you can move forward in this lifetime with what you've been given and what you already have.
And if there is, I guess the only feeling that I feel called to really express is being able to sit with that emptiness, because it's not lack, it is possibility. If you try and fill it with things that aren't supposed to be there, then you won't actually be able to manifest what you're capable of manifesting if you just fill it with all these little things.
And you won't feel better ultimately.
Nope, you won't.
Yeah. Okay, the Empress is your bottom deck energy. You are full of beautiful creative potential, just like you were before. That is coming forward with you, just in a different form. As hard as that may be to accept. I feel this is actually a very nice...
It is. I want to give you a big hug and tell you that you're doing great and that you're doing, like...
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Exactly. Yes, that.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Hiya and welcome if you chose group 2, this little tiny little shell. My fave. Probably Bernadette's fave. Welcome. So today we're going to take a look at your past life versus your current life energy and how they influence one another. We just put your connective card face up because we felt like it. We have emotions.
Right, starting strong off the gate. Very emotional.
Yeah, so let's start with your past life energy.
Okay, I'm going to start with these archetype cards.
Oh, cool. I love this for you.
Okay, this is good. Okay, I want to put them together if I can. So it's Warrior and Destroyer.
Super powerful, straight out the gate.
Oh my god, powerful.
Whatever you did back then, it was like a big deal.
Very big deal.
Even if it was on a personal level. Like, it felt like you were someone who very much followed your instincts and acted within your nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were very courageous and very confident.
Which
is very...
Sometimes it could have been to your detriment, but still, it was authentic.
Completely. Okay, let's see what else we got. Crescent Instinct.
That definitely feels right with Warrior and Destroyer.
And Altar.
Yeah, so you had your own belief system that you naturally followed.
Shoot.
Yeah, okay. I definitely see you living outside of the limitations of the society you were born in.
Totally.
You could have been like a freedom fighter in an oppressed or colonized nation, or you could have been like a queer person in Victorian England, but whatever it was, like you were definitely living outside of the norm. You were...
Yeah, unlike our group number 1, your individuality was not as accepted by society and maybe by your family group the way that maybe you would have liked. So even a small deviance made a big wave.
I feel like you did not work within the channels available to you. You like blasted new channels for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Hugely. You could have been someone who lived in a deeply stratified society. Like, obviously that's very possible given the nature of the world we live in. And I just feel like you give me kind of Scorpio vibes, like you just could not make yourself fit into a narrow kind of framework. You had to break out of it.
Okay. Do we want to look at what we're like now, what this became?
Yeah, I'm very curious, yeah. You have a lot of archetype cards, like the most out of any group so far. We have Trickster. Okay. We also have, Lover. That's beautiful. God. Okay. Alright. And bully. Oh my goodness. So I feel you carrying forward a strong sense of personal power, but I don't see you having the same pushback that you may have had in past lives. And you might have a very forceful personality now because it's resonating with this past energy of really needing to fight to authentically express yourself.
You might be fighting a little bit too much.
Yeah, but with like altar and lover in both lives, you're someone who like when you really feel that something resonates with your energy, you're very you move toward it. Yeah, devoted. Exactly. That's interesting. With trickster, yeah, I feel like you have an easier path in this lifetime. Like you can use your mind more so to face challenges versus in the past when you had to use the full force of your instinctual energy.
Yeah, it's carried through now. Now you might know how to read people. You might know how to read situations. People watcher. Before you had any amount of power over people with the god and bully, you were able to kind of figure out where you were supposed to be and how to get what you want with that trickster.
I feel like you're also just enjoying the fact that we live in a more malleable and fluid world these days.
Completely.
With Freak being here. Before, I feel like, yeah, again, like these small deviations were so frowned upon, and now you get to have this like freewheeling energy that you just couldn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. I'm happy about that. We also have Guru. I already forgot that this came out for this group. And Mushroom. Oh. So yeah, these cards plus Trickster give me this sense that you really do like experiment with reality, like you explore different realities in your mind, and you're very, very open to spiritual and even almost like sci-fi energies, like alternate universes and the idea that maybe we're living in a simulation, that kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. Very outside the box.
Yeah, it just feels like, for me, it feels like there's this possibility almost that this energy will calm, like the lover will balance out this forceful past life energy that's coming through, and since it doesn't take as much to get where you want to go, you might come across as more of that god or that bully energy. Mm-hmm. And when that matures, you could really balance and be a living example of how to live a unique life that is authentic and that is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, it's almost like you're being gifted this new opportunity to live in a world that doesn't like oppose who you instinctively are. Mm-hmm. And it's up to you to like flow with the opportunity to find a better expression of your energy.
Yeah, the message that I'm getting is that you don't have to fight so hard anymore. Mm-hmm. That you can relax and that you can love and that it's okay and that you're safe.
Yeah, you may be like the type of person who is really guarded, but it doesn't quite make sense because you don't have wounds in this lifetime to be protective of.
No, this emotions card as our connector card really, what you fought for was your emotional integrity, the right to be yourself. And you don't have to fight as hard now, but you're still pushing forward.
I feel like, yeah, you could be very connected to like a collective pain body, whether this is like to do with gender or race or nationality, but you deeply connect to a certain like pain body. And there's like, it brings this fear into your energy field because you're so aware of this certain type of axis of oppression or pain.
So what's the phrase, the best revenge is a life well lived?
That's what Lover is trying to say for sure.
So if you're still fighting for a cause, not to say that cause isn't worthy, but the best thing that you can do is balance yourself and live a wholehearted life.
Yeah, Guru and Mushroom want you to take it to a higher level.
Completely. Yeah, mushrooms don't let you get away with anything.
Yeah.
Mushrooms also are the connection between trees. So maybe you're attempting to build a community and you're attempting to build ways to communicate within that community.
I think your ego could be blocking you in this lifetime with God and Bully. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is kind of like the next step.
Mm-hmm. No, this seems possible within this lifetime. Mm-hmm. Do we want to draw tarot?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're just gonna get some more references for your past life first, and then we'll take it forward into the current life as well. So we have the Three of Wands coming out first, very strong, very powerful. The Ace of Cups. You had to create your own love and your own community with the Grandmother of Cups as well.
To make sure I'm fully in the past life vibe, as we were just talking about.
Nine of Discs is also a strong community element.
Yeah, you really had to forge your own way. Any other past life cards?
Yes, many.
Many. The Three of Swords.
Maybe we should take that one too.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay. So you have this Three of Swords, which is nothing like the traditional Three of Swords. And Seven of Discs, travel. Where you started was quite different from where you ended. Feels good.
It does feel good. Maybe you should explain the difference between this Three of Swords versus the classic.
Okay. So this Three of Swords, threes in this deck speak to expansion, moving beyond the sort of the beginning of knowledge of self, of duality with the two. We get into the three, where we're really understanding new possibilities, finding that, what is it they say in Buddhism, the middle path? Yeah, so this Three of Swords is about expansion of the mindset. If you look at the background here, the landscape may be very dark and barren, but there's this bolt of inspiration that comes in. So I feel like you were someone who really, really, really had a strong sense of who you were. Like you understood yourself in your mind, and there was this clarity of thought and purpose that kind of forged new paths that didn't exist before you imagined them.
I get this feeling with this particular Ace of Cups. Always makes me think of an old soul. You knew who you were at a young age, and you probably outsmarted people, your parents, other guardians or parent figures. You knew more about life than them, and
you might have had one grandmother or something who really loved you and accepted you as you were with the Grandmother of Cups.
There's that resonance of three here as well, and your bottom deck energy is the Empress.
With the Ten of Cups underneath. Yeah.
Yep.
There could have been one strong feminine figure in your life who accepted you for who you were, who encouraged you, and that gave you so much strength and power.
Yeah, that one person was the equivalent of 9 people.
Yeah, completely. If this was a mother, a grandmother, or just some old lady who lived in your apartment complex, like whatever it was.
It could have just been somebody that you saw doing their own thing in their own way that gave you confidence to live your life the way that you wanted to live it.
But it does almost also feel like you could have never have had a role model with the Three of Swords, and you had to forge that path within your own mind. I don't know, but what you said also reminds me of, I watched this documentary about Butch Woman, about how they felt the first time they saw a woman be butch, and how that blew their mind and expanded their consciousness.
Oh, completely.
So yeah, it could go either way, but either way there was this moment for you where you either saw someone or you imagined it and you were like, holy shit, that's actually me. That's my path.
Yeah, you found your way in the world. Okay, I love this. I don't feel like we need any clarifiers. I don't know how you feel.
No, it's good.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let me scooch.
So now we're just gonna contrast that energy with your current life. See what's the same and what is different. The World card. Decided to pop out for a second. You definitely achieved a lot in your past life.
Oh, okay. Oh, we have the Seven of Wands. You got a plan, you're going for it.
That definitely feels reversed.
Reversed. Okay. You're working on emotional control and movement.
That's She met me. Hold on.
You might be a little scattered in this life.
You might be pretty forceful. Those cards just like. Okay.
Oh, yep. Oh, the Six of Swords.
And the Six of Wands.
Big Lover's energy.
I don't know, that one felt reversed. And the Ten of Wands.
Six of Wands. Okay, we all
You're
want to
getting a lot of
integrate.
reversals. I don't know, the Fool could go either way.
Ten of Wands. Okay, the Fool can feel like a possibility, this opportunity that carries you through.
That one came out reversed, and then I picked it up and it was upright. You have the Four of Wands reversed as your bottom deck energy. So for me, I see that you have a lot of personal power, but it's not necessarily applied properly in this lifetime. That is kind of what comes across for me. Mm-hmm. The Queen of Cups kind of feels like a fear of vulnerability, honestly. Like if in your past life you felt really attacked for being who you were, it almost feels like you slightly carry that resonance forward. Mm-hmm. With the bully and with the trickster, it feels like you do sometimes avoid being in this soft flowing nature that the Queen of Cups can have.
Yeah, there's this, it almost feels like you've given yourself a very narrow path to walk, and there's not a lot of variance. Your ability to succeed is very slim. But almost with the Queen of Cups there, you're very invested, and the Fool.
I do feel like a lesson for this lifetime is allowing yourself to be open and flow more, with the emotions being the connective energy. Because you did have this loving flow energy in your past life, that wasn't necessarily accepted by everyone around you. And I feel like in this life there are more opportunities for people to see you and accept you and appreciate you, but it feels like you're not taking those opportunities.
So yeah, if we want to go back to our clarifiers here with the bully and the trickster and the god, it just seems like maybe, I guess what's speaking to me is more the Wands cards, the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Wands. The Seven of Wands always feels like this guy here, if I can pick it up.
he's resisting.
This guy here feels like it's him against the world.
And he's building off of this Six of Wands reverse, so it's like a victory, but it isn't necessarily a healthy victory internally. Like it feels...
It came at a cost.
Yes.
And this Ten of Wands... This feeling of overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if you got into this Queen of Cups energy, you could ask for help or support.
Yeah.
With Guru as well.
Yeah, it just almost feels like you want to do it in a very certain energy, in a very particular way that makes sense with your mind, and you're denying yourself access to a whole other reservoir of a lifetime of knowledge and information that could really bolster you and give you new perspective. And it's almost that new perspective that you fear. Because then maybe what you've been working for, what is that, the sunk cost fallacy?
Oh, yes.
So the more that you invest in something, the more you feel like you have to continue investing in it in a particular way, the less likely you are to change course.
But the truth is that energy, that time, that money, whatever that is, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, this is bully energy right now.
Yeah, it's almost like you're bullying yourself into moving forward, going from the 6 to the 7. But the truth is, like, this 6 wasn't really your proper victory.
Yeah, this feels like a narrative issue. It feels like there's a story that you have in your head about how life is supposed to be and how you are supposed to interact with this life that is preventing you from being who you actually are. And so whenever your intuition pops up, or whenever you get that gut feeling that says that you should be doing something different, you would rather disassociate a little bit and maybe separate yourself from that energy so you can maintain the current narrative. And this is no judgment, this is how we all are.
I mean, I think you're in process of this with this right now with the 6 of Swords, like there's so much intellectual control over your emotions almost that it's like you can choose how to move forward with information with the Fool being underneath.
Completely.
You can find a fresh start, or you can stay in this energy. It's up to you and your mindset and how you direct your energy flow.
Completely. Yeah, the Fool is there to present new possibilities that at any time you can choose a different path, and it won't even be that hard. Yeah, the moment that you allow those new possibilities into your life, you might come across that mushroom and guru energy and that love for yourself, that self-love.
Yeah, and I think it's really important. In the past life, you had this grandmother and Ace of Cups.
Be that now.
Yeah, and in this life, it feels like you're not letting it in.
No, and you could be that for other people. I don't know if that helps you or might inspire you, but you could be that person that does things their own way, in their own unique way, that just helps somebody. And you might not even know it. You could just pass them on the street and they will be changed. And that is the beauty of being a human being. I feel like, though, we do need some clarifiers, some things to hold on to.
Yeah, just to close out how we get into this. Yeah, I feel like we need to get into more of a yin energy, really.
Yeah, this is very...
young.
Yeah, very... Oh, no fingernails for me.
Table's like, if you want it, you gotta work for it.
Apparently. Okay. I'm gonna start. I'm actually gonna let you pull.
I wasn't expecting that.
I know.
I was like, I'm ready to relax and just watch the magic happen.
I know, I feel like all of my energy is very young. I think I would just pull the same things. Okay, we have the Chariot. And the Hermit.
I feel like that's, yeah.
There's this desire to move in your own way.
The Eight of Cups reversed. This almost feels like going back to go forward. I'm seeing this little person walking away on the card. Yeah, it feels like with the Six of Wands, there was this idea or opportunity that you really committed to, but it didn't really serve your growth, and it kind of misaligned you somewhat, is the feeling I get.
Yeah, it could be that something or someone or an idea outside of yourself took over your energy and really convinced you to invest, and that might not have been destined in your life path.
Yeah, with the Hermit, you need to find your own inner light and follow that. Because this Hermit is directly praying to the moon, like he's looking for his own inner truth. He's doing his shadow.
Yeah, the Hermit and these are actually very similar as far as their energy goes.
Yeah, finding their own inner guidance. Yeah, your bottom deck energy right now is the Four of Cups. So it feels like you're attracted to an opportunity or an idea that actually isn't really reciprocating your energy right now, or just won't actually take you forward where you want to go to your real fresh start.
So I feel like the conclusion of this is really, the focus feels like to me the mushroom and the Queen of Cups. The mushroom to me is that interconnectedness. It is that looking inward. It's re-examining and reconnecting to that emotional center. And
with the Hermit too.
With the Hermit and the moon energy, just refinding that emotional flow, refinding your heart and how your heart interconnects with life, and being willing to let that narrative go, or other people's narratives that they could have given to you go.
Yeah, it feels like you're holding space for something with the Seven of Wands, or defending something.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be defended.
And this is probably going to be a hard reading, because whatever this is, you've really committed to. And
built a religion around it with God.
And built a religion around it, or built your identity around it. And whatever it is taking a lot of your energy, and you need to be able, if it can't live without you,
then it's a parasite.
Basically, yeah, you need to be able to step back, and there's beauty in whatever this is. I'm not saying that it's bad. It could just be that you're over-investing. So there's a beauty in being able to step back and watching what happens when something fills the void that you created.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, I had a situation like this where I was putting a lot of energy into, like, a family movie night, and I decided to stop texting my family to see if they would do it without me. And for, like, 2 weeks, the chat went silent. Nothing happened. And then after that, both my dad and my sister reached out, and they were like, hey, we should do movie night. And that was very affirming for me, because it let me know that something I put all of my energy into for, like, years actually mattered to the other people in my life. But I needed a moment where I stepped back and went into hermit mode and was like, if you guys care about spending the time with me, you will reach out to me. So sometimes you need to do that with situations, like take a step back.
Absolutely, which is really healthy. So maybe you just feel like something can't live without you, and let's take a step back and see if it will.
See, like, yeah. It's important to know. You need the info. You need to know.
Yeah, so that's really positive, actually, that you can and that you should, no matter what the outcome is. It will be better for you if you take the time for yourself.
Yeah.
And be balanced. A better leader.
So that, I think, is the reading that we have for you.
That is the reading that we have for you.
I hope that was helpful, and if it felt too harsh or it really triggered something in you, feel free to leave the messages, let them go, let them be. You don't have to force it to fit, but I hopefully it was resonant and helpful in some way.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hi, and welcome if you chose group 3. This red rock, we don't know what it is, but we're calling it Jasper. So, we're going to start out by looking into some pre-shuffled messages about your past life, compare that with your current life, see how they connect. Your connective card right here is compassion, so interested to see how that all aligns.
Yeah, there might have been some things in your past life that made you more empathetic, or maybe some things from your past life that you did that you have to be empathetic towards yourself now.
Yeah, or something in your past life that caused a lot of pain that's requiring you to show some self-compassion as well.
So I'm going to start with the Oracle deck. Okay, we have Samaritan. So you're very helpful. People that you feel like get ignored or people that you are drawn toward. You feel like you have something to offer them.
Wow, servant as well.
And you really feel like doing that is your as a life calling.
Yeah, no. Could have been a healer in a past life. Some kind of teacher.
Exactly. Like maybe you were the leader of the island of the misfit kids. Oh, disseminating confidence. So people were probably drawn to you as well.
2 disseminating moons. So it's your job to bear fruit almost for your community, to give them messages, teaching, energy.
Yeah, and this is commitment. You're very committed to this role.
Yeah, you might not have gleaned a ton of like personal satisfaction in a past life. Like you could have been very devoted to your cause at the expense of your personal feelings of satisfaction.
No, it does feel like you really gave your all to something that you believed in, but there's nothing that happens without a cost. But this does directly tie in with the compassion. Yeah. You seem like an incredibly compassionate person, probably then and now.
You may have been someone who directed all of your compassionate energy outwards and didn't necessarily keep that much for yourself with Servant and Samaritan coming through. But you may have neglected your own personal growth.
No, it's one of those things where maybe you felt like this is something that you had to do, that there's no other choice. So you could get a lot of compliments or a lot of praise, and we could praise you right now for how good you were, but it is just something that was what you had to do with who you were.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm getting a more heavy energy already. Like I feel more tired than the last 2 groups.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a lot.
It's a little bit hard to speak, things are a little bit weighted down, but you were a pillar in your community and you handled a lot. And it looks like you did it with grace, but at the end of the day, bone tired. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So
look at the present.
Yeah, to contrast, you didn't have anywhere near as much energy in your present life. I didn't know this was your card. We have Thief. Oh my gosh, so it could be like whenever you put energy in yourself, you could be the type of person who feels guilty about that, like you're stealing almost. Because in your past life you gave everything away. That's kind of what hits me. What do you feel?
Well, I feel like also you know your worth.
Oh, in the past life you didn't really.
Yeah, maybe your past life, it wasn't in some odd cosmic retrospect. You realize how much good you did. And so now to be a good thief, you have to know the value of things, right? You know the value of your own self.
And this thief has a little heart in their coat.
Yeah.
So it could be that instead of giving your love away immediately, any good thing you have, instead of immediately sharing it, you hold it for yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you give to yourself first maybe now in this lifetime versus giving yourself away so completely in a previous lifetime.
That's very interesting. Okay, so you have the one ... mind is rootless and foundationless. And then we also have from here on in, it's nothing but a downhill run. So you could have built up a lot of good karma for yourself, for sure.
Yeah, you know your value. It's like you built up capital and
you're an heiress.
You brought it over.
That's really nice. They say you can't take it with you, but you're taking something with you. Some services that you did or some generosity.
Yeah, there's the sense of self and this compassion that you bring with you into this lifetime that is serving you very well now. You have a much better sense of self now than you did before. And I really want to know more.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this card, the mind. This is interesting. I do wonder sometimes you do feel guilty for not, giving enough, though. On a conscious level, your logical mind, versus your intuitive soul. It's like, no, in a past life we gave a lot. We did a lot, so now we get to coast a little bit. This is your life to enjoy yourself, and I wonder if your mind sometimes blocks you from that. What do you take? What's your take?
Oh, for the one mind is rootless and foundationless.
Yeah.
That one to me speaks more of Buddhism. It just feels like you have such an oddly deep connection with a life outside yourself, even if it's not something that you're consciously aware of. You're sort of self-assured and you don't buy into things as much.
Oh,
you're not constantly seeking your identity.
This is like drifter vibes, isn't it?
Yeah, you know who you are, you know how to navigate the world to the best of your ability, and there's just a sense of self-worth here.
Yeah, I see this idea of following the sun, just wherever you go. Okay. Yeah,
you don't have to have a lot of physical capital, but you have a lot of emotional capital.
Yeah, spiritually speaking, you have a lot in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. And so you could be in any life situation right now and still have a sense of self and a sense of self-worth, which is huge.
Cool.
I love
that. No one can, you get the idea of you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Exactly.
No one can steal from you with the thief.
I love that. Yes.
That's cool.
Can we start with the current life this time?
Yeah, okay. I can remember how to shuffle. Always a big question.
Yeah, your energy so far has been very forceful. Very all over the place.
I feel very I'm starting to get, I don't know, I feel heavier, honestly. I feel more grounded maybe? I don't know, but my body feels different with this energy.
I mean, Samaritan and Mentor and Servant is a very grounded energy.
That's true. Maybe that's, if you are someone who lives light with the Five of Pentacles. If you are someone who lives life, it could be because in the past you were very, very grounded. You had responsibilities.
Ooh, 5 energies.
Am I thinking of the past life, or I might be thinking of the past life. Hold on. Let me check in with the current.
Oh, the world. Okay.
This is interesting. Current life energy. There's a lot here.
Okay. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, we're saving. We're very aligned with our path.
Okay, I think I'm gonna call it there.
And balance.
I feel like that some of these came out reversed, so you may come from a place of not having a lot in this life, but I feel like you change course with that, with the Two of Wands and the Fool ending this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the reversal here, like I would keep these.
Okay. I couldn't tell what was reversed and not reversed.
And then your bottom deck energy is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you are manifesting and creating this life, but you're manifesting and creating something so different than what you came from. Like, this could be the start of this life, honestly, with this, like, rootless and foundationless.
Oh, yeah, these 5s. This 5 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, I really do get the feeling that no matter what life throws at you, you have the spiritual and emotional capability to roll with those punches. Like, it doesn't necessarily phase you. And you have such a strong sense of self that your life circumstances don't necessarily dictate your ego or your self-worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel with justice in the world reversed, it's not that, like, life is stacked against you or anything. I just feel like you have this inward manifestation energy that transcends whatever you may be outwardly experiencing, is kind of the vibe that I got with those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with the 7 of Pentacles, like, there is a sense of being rootless, of moving through life and finding new experiences, and that's kind of the point, is the freedom.
Yeah, that really goes with the Fool. It's just that no matter where you are yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like you create your opportunities with the Two of Wands. And with the Queen of Pentacles, you will manifest something in this lifetime, but it'll be so different than what came before. Because it's like it's for you this time, whereas before it was for a community or for just like maybe you had a patron or something, someone that you're putting your energy into someone or something else.
You could have literally been a servant. Like, we've seen
True.
Natty. Like,
that's very true. Yeah, you were committed to something out that wasn't within necessarily your own best interest. Not that it wasn't worthwhile, but it wasn't about your growth. And I feel like this life is about your growth.
No, I do feel like I would love some clarifiers, though, on this energy. Just to see where we're going.
Yeah, if you started out this life where you feel like you weren't really invested in yourself, I feel like your opportunity in this life is to transcend those feelings.
Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a slow-moving energy.
Yeah, but this is a very heavy manifestational energy with the world as well.
Completely. Yeah, you're doing things for you.
And I feel like you haven't done that before necessarily, or you haven't done that in your recent lives.
And you're taking your time with it. You're trying to do it right.
It's really hard to transition, really.
Ace of Swords.
This is a change in mindset, what you prioritize.
And you would like to move when you have clear thought.
Yeah, which means you have to fully release and transcend these older energies from past lives and show yourself that compassion.
Okay, we're getting a pattern here with these aces.
Oh, what's next?
Ace of Pentacles.
Nice! Oh my god, that's great. Once your mindset shifts, your physical reality shifts. That feels right.
That feels good.
That's great. And the one, mind is rootless and foundationless, tells me that the power is all in your mind. That is the initial.
Okay. This Nine of Swords, it popped out twice.
Okay. Yeah, I do think it'll be hard to release old life cycle thought patterns. This is something that you're doing for yourself, and that might be very challenging as well.
Yeah, I could easily see there being a hangover. So this bottom deck energy is the the Four of Swords, and the Five of Cups decide to come out twice.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
So you're really working hard on releasing this and balancing this energy.
In a past life, you might have missed a lot of opportunities for yourself with the Five of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be something that carries over until you allow yourself to experience opportunities.
It feels like there is the danger here of being influenced by a scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you can shift your thinking into an abundance mindset, into long-term thinking,
that would send these upright.
That would really put those upright because you have a lot of capital from the time that you served here.
Yeah.
And it's just making sure that you're mentally aligned with the fact that you deserve more.
Yeah, with the Seven of Pentacles, I think so far you've been investing in the wrong things, or in the recent past, maybe in this lifetime. And you may feel like you're carrying over this energy from this past life, but really it's not that you're destined to fail in this life, it's that you haven't invested.
All right.
It feels like you haven't invested in the right things in this lifetime.
Okay.
And once you change what you invest in, that's Justice and this Two of Wands and the Fool kind of takes over.
Okay, that makes sense. This is going to be a hard shift, but it's worth doing. Could be that the scarcity mindset does take over. So I feel like there is this huge possibility of you moving through life and being in those complicated circumstances and being able to separate yourself, who you are, from the circumstances of your life, that it doesn't necessarily reflect onto you. So maybe I was hearing or feeling what your future sort of whole self could be like, and right now it could be very hard to understand that you were born into a set of circumstances that were outside of your control, but that you do have access to personal power and energy from who you were before that can really bolster you and let you start manifesting new opportunities for yourself now, and that will feel a lot more balanced and a lot more aligned with who you are as a person, and a little bit more at peace, a little lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the Fool, this is all about moving toward that lightest possible vibration for your energy. With the Thief, it's just about, Oscar Wilde once said, art is what you can get away with. And that's kind of that life is what you can get away with. That's what you're being encouraged to do. You built all this up, this is for you, it's all downhill. You have to shift that mindset though. With the Nine of Swords, you're on the precipice of letting go or breaking through to a new level of thought. And with the Two of Wands, that opens up all these new possibilities. This life feels like kind of closing up, cashing out or cashing checks from an old lifetime. You have to figure out how to do that almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's a good conclusion.
Yeah.
It's a good place to stop.
You're going to do the past life now?
Yeah. I'm almost avoiding it. I didn't want to do it. I'm kind of scared. I didn't...
Okay. I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm going to move this.
Okay. There was love.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So we have the Two of Cups.
You were really devoted to whatever your cause, or even if it was an employer or a person, it feels like you really love them.
Yeah, and this is tradition with this Russian nesting dolls. The Seven of Wands.
So risk entering into the picture? That's really interesting.
Okay. Oh, and the Beast has returned.
Not for these guys. We got the Beast in group 1.
Yeah. The Beast of Wands.
The Beast has returned is a really ominous statement to make.
Oh, okay. I love the color shift here. So we are transitioning from this wand energy.
Oh yeah, we're going from fire to ice.
Mm-hmm. And going into the sword sort of energy.
You probably were a very deeply spiritual person maybe even a religious person in your past life.
Yeah, we have the Ten of Wands. So it really did take a lot out of you. But the beautiful thing about old snags is they provide habitat for other animals. So
yeah, it could have been that your life ended up being served other people's lives, really.
Yep, you provided a lot of structure.
Yeah. It does feel like maybe you burned your fire out for other people.
Okay. Yeah. No, very devoted. This 5 of Cups.
There's the 5 of Cups again. Triple 5 of Cups.
Triple 5 of Cups.
Yeah. So this lifetime definitely is for you, because it feels like your past lifetime was for other like structures or people.
Yeah, you were definitely working as well as you could within the confines of the life that you were given. Trying to make your own way and provide for other people.
It feels like whenever you had really individual impulses or thoughts with this 7 of Wands and the Beast of Wands, you had to temper that energy and kind of make it smaller or make it fit into a pre-existing framework. And there may have been some pain with that, but I do feel like ultimately you were happy with what you did for other people and what you did for your community. Or
yeah, there's pride here. There's this sense of pride and this sense of rightness, and it did feel like there was love in your life coming towards you and emanating from you. So it does feel like a hard but satisfying life.
It does feel like that all the things that you had to sublimate or repress, or like this energy that you couldn't live out, maybe manifesting in this life in the form of feelings of anxiety or self-doubt with the 2 5s coming out.
There's a lot of 5s, yeah. There's a lot of potential for transition, a lot of potential for growth, and not necessarily being satisfied with where you are right now and wanting something more.
Yeah. It could be hard to go from a life where you have a strong sense of purpose for other people to then having no boss, like who's gonna tell me what to do? Like, what do I do? What are my orders? And it's like they're coming with justice, and the 2 of Wands is like they have to come from a sense of internal alignment, and that's very challenging.
No, that's much more challenging than
having a boss.
Yeah.
A thief versus a servant. Like, a servant always knows where their next meal is coming from.
Exactly. Yeah, a thief is making their own way constantly.
On their feet, yeah.
They're, very watchful, very, very protective.
But with the Queen of Pentacles, you are meant to achieve in this lifetime. And you have the capability to do that. It's just that you have to create a whole new framework to be successful within.
Okay, I think we've overloaded them.
Sorry.
No, which is great. I hope you got what you needed. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye. Hiya and welcome. If you chose this little green rock, possibly Jasper. So we have some pre-shuffled cards for you to start. We're going to look at your past life energy and contrast it with your current life energy to start.
Okay. So let's start with some archetype cards. Oh, we have, let's get the glare off there. We have the priest.
Okay.
Okay. And we have the saboteur.
That's very interesting.
Okay, it seems like you are really trying to communicate and channel some sort of spiritual energy.
You may have run into problems with organized religion.
Yep.
I mean, that's coming through very strong.
Yeah, it could be that your sense of rightness contrasts with how organized religion hurt you in the past.
Yeah.
But don't let me project too much.
No, it definitely feels like, I'm just saying the word self-empowerment on here. Like, I feel like traditional circumstances inhibited your self-empowerment in your past life. It was like either you fit in with the mainstream traditional framework, or you kind of went your own way. But
yeah, I'm getting the sense that you hid in plain sight with this priest energy. Like, you were really good at channeling what you were supposed to channel, like, and maybe hiding what you were supposed to show. So you might have been a self-saboteur as a survival mechanism.
yeah, it doesn't feel like you were fully in your own power.
No, it doesn't. But you were making it. You mean you lived a whole life. Let's see what else we got. Disseminate responsibility. So you didn't do this for you. It does feel like...
But you did it successfully.
Yeah, but you did it successfully. Okay.
Yeah, I see you pleasing others more than you pleased yourself, honestly. At the expense of pleasing yourself, almost.
Yeah, and there is, I don't know why, but this sense of keeping yourself safe was incredibly important to you. And if everyone likes you, that's an incredibly safe place to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we got keep up the good work.
With responsibility, yeah.
Mm-hmm, with responsibility and freak. So maybe you were really afraid.
Yeah, like look at these two columns.
Mm-hmm.
We have responsibility, priest, and keep up the good work. And then over here, there's this weird sabotaging energy of whatever you were sacrally connected to or intuitively connected to.
Mm-hmm.
That was not necessarily what was going to get you far in the world or your community.
Yeah, maybe you loved somebody that you shouldn't have in the eyes of society, obviously. We don't care, nor do we judge. So you just sort of had to keep your true self hidden, but it also feels like it was very much alive.
Oh yeah, I do feel like you were cut off from your loving nature in certain aspects of who you were, but there was maybe one like outlet that was maybe dangerous to you.
Right, but you protected yourself and you protected it, which is the feeling that I get.
Yeah, this was not like a repressed energy. You were very much aware of it. And it may have caused you a lot of pain.
No, it doesn't feel comfortable.
No.
But yeah.
There was too much pleasure to say no, or too much happiness or joy that it tempted you with, almost.
Yeah, but I mean, keep earning those gold stars with the keep up the good work. I mean, I don't think if we were to meet you in this timeline, we would just think that you were an upstanding citizen and probably not think twice about you. You might actually be forgettable, and that would be very much on purpose.
Yeah, no, it's like almost like you've invested too much on this side. Like this pyramid is almost complete. So it's like even if you had found something that was really non-normative that resonated with you, you were like, well, I've invested too much over here.
Yep.
I'm almost done with this pyramid. Doesn't matter if it's drafty and cold and I hate living inside of here. This is what I've built. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how it contrasts with your current energy.
So we have gossip.
Oh.
Okay. And femme fatale. So it feels like you're a lot more free to express yourself in this life.
Yeah, there might be some compensation.
With Lilith! Yeah. No, this is really different. It's like everything you were afraid of becoming in your past life, you are now.
Yeah, so maybe we're perhaps a little repressed?
Yeah.
Maybe so. Yeah. We'll walk that back.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, it feels like almost like this life you're almost overcompensating. Like you have the freedom to just be like, all of the... I'm thinking of, there's this one song in Rent, excuse me for being really into Rent when I was 15, that's embarrassing, but I was, and there's this one song where they're like listing a million things, they're like, too leather, too dildos, and it's just like all these things that are like, blah, like in your face, but it's like, in this life we have the freedom to like all these things that are maybe freaky or too much, but like with Lilith, it's like, in this life you get to be that, all that.
And that's amazing, you're living it up.
Yeah. Well, this just kind of like, this kind of freaky, like, energy that was drawing you in that you had to deny or reject. In this life, you can listen to it. You can be like, oh, tell me more.
Exactly. I mean, gossips do consider other people's feelings. Like, they want to know more. They're very curious and they're people watchers. So it just seems like a very fun, very observational energy.
Yeah, it's like you get to, your whole life is like a hot girl summer for this person.
Exactly, right. It's sort of like you get to be who you wanted to be when you were like 13.
Yeah, it is that. You get to do that.
Okay, I'm curious about the connecting energy here. And you have 2 cards. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so you have Limitless.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And you have Move Forward.
Oh, wow. That's really nice.
It's super nice.
So
Okay.
you're like incarnated in your whole timeline almost. Like,
Yep.
whatever this life considered like your whole timeline, you're getting to do that.
Yeah.
Even if that's just like being a woman who has the right to like vote and own property, like that's your whole timeline or whatever, depending on what it was for this lifetime.
Yeah, it is very hard to get a sense of era from these past life cards. But no, it could just be having the freedom, the simple freedom to be however you identify.
And to communicate freely with gossip.
I mean, it could almost simply just be without internet, with internet.
Yeah, that's true.
You can find your community. We are here for you.
That's very true. Yeah, like whatever your past life considered scandalous to you is maybe the norm or de rigueur or whatever. So yeah, the idea of like, because if you look at like, if you like actually read about what people considered scandalous about women in like even the 1920s, the idea of like, you know how we joke about seeing a glimpse of ankle, how that was too much. It's like, you just have so much freedom in this life to really truly explore not just the ankle but the knee,
Right.
the thigh. It's all there for you.
It's all there for you. No, it would be really, it is very funny. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's just like feeling very repressed in this timeline that's going like, this is not my reading, this is not resonant with me. But you don't understand. You don't understand what it was like before. So we're here to tell you to appreciate what you have now.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Do we want to pull cards?
Sure.
Okay.
So we're gonna check in with some more cards about your past life first. And then we're gonna contrast that with the current timeline.
Okay, we have the Nine of Wands.
Interesting. So I feel like you found power in whatever role you chose to play in your past life.
Six of Swords.
Very structured.
Yeah. No, that structure resonates.
And those look like stained glass windows too, so that religious element is still coming through.
But you knew who you were. This is the Star. Okay. Okay. The Devil. Which resonates a lot with.
Yeah.
So maybe there is some like shame.
Yeah, you might have demonized people who were like what you felt inside, honestly.
Totally.
That projection energy.
You had to separate yourself from who you actually were.
That's really painful. Instead of wooing or loving what you really were.
And work.
Yeah, this is a lifetime where you prioritize the needs of or ideas of your community over.
Yeah, you were working in tandem. Then there wasn't probably much that you could do to really escape that. And bottom deck energy is Ace of Swords. So I feel like you were very self-aware of what you were protecting.
Yeah, totally.
And the sacrifices that you were making.
Yeah, no, you were knowingly distancing yourself from your truth, honestly.
And there's some people that really choose that as a survival mechanism.
Yeah, there's no judgment. Like, it makes sense. Like, you do what you need to do to survive and be a part of your community. You wanted to stay in your power.
Yeah, no, that all feels very clear to me.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about our current?
So yeah, I mean, again, the sense of the reason why Femme Fatale and Lilith might have come out in this reading is because in your past life you really were so careful with the way you presented yourself. Like, Lilith is a very Like, that's quite a big role to step into, and until very recently, I feel like it would have been quite unthinkable for especially a woman to choose to step into that kind of role on purpose. You look at, like, books like The Scarlet Letter that really portrayed how much we would punish and shame and hurt women for deviating from the norm. There is this sense of, like, reclaiming the shadow of the feminine energy in this lifetime. Gossip, too, is, like, a heavily,
It's a demonized sort of feminine energy.
In the 1500s, gossip just meant female friend, and then the meaning changed to become more negative.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this lifetime you are taking back the night, is what it feels like.
Okay, the Hierophant. But with this Hierophant, there's this energy coming from it, like they're projecting into the future or projecting what they know.
You might
outwards.
be, changing the rules.
Yeah.
Being your own leader. Okay, we have the devil coming out again. Reclaiming. And the Ace of Swords.
Devil and the Ace of Swords, we got some consistent energy here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot that's coming through your past life that's influencing your current life. And we have the Queen of Wands.
Yeah, the Queen of Wands with Lilith and Femme Fatale is very powerful.
And the Lovers.
And then your bottom deck energy is the Ace of Cups. So what you were shamed for, what you couldn't be in your past life, you're finding appreciation for in this life.
Yeah, completely.
Wow, that's great. It does feel like you're reclaiming. Like in the past, like maybe this priest energy had power over you. But now you're the one who's kind of setting the...
You're setting the tone. You're setting the rules and dictating things, especially with the Queen of Wands. Like the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands together. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is so in their power. Like you've met a Queen of Wands because you just resonate with them and you want to be like them. And you don't even know why. And that's how you make other people feel. And whether or not you actually lead an institution or are a leader of any sort, other people do want to be like you now.
You attract followers.
Totally, especially with this devil lovers
energy.
Double six,
You have
2 6s right there.
It's true.
And this Ace of Wands, there is this clarity of mind, clarity of thought, and this Ace of Cups, this overflowing emotional energy. It just... things feel really good for you.
Yeah, no. It's like, in the past life, it's like you were storing this energy, keeping it in reserve for when you could actually use it. And now it's like all this clarity that you built up with this bottom deck energy. Oh, it's not on camera.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The bottom deck energy being the Ace of Swords. In this life, it's like you actually get to use that knowledge. And this power that with the devil as well. You get to use your power in this lifetime, and it's not demonized.
No, incredibly. Like, there's a huge benefit to knowing how society works. There's a huge benefit to knowing where your attachments are, what you desire, what you love, what you like. The devil energy can be very playful, can be very intimate, can be a very self-empowered card. Yeah,
and with you having the devil in the beginning, it's like you've carried this forward from a past life, but like now what you used to judge, you're free to like actually see for what it is instead of distancing and pushing away. You own that, you attract that, and you end up with the Lovers, which is sort of like this higher vibration of that devil energy, with them both being 6s.
Yeah, you've integrated yourself. You've integrated this past life pretty completely, it seems like.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't feel like it.
That's what you're doing. Like, you're in process doing it if you feel like you're not there yet. This is the actual process.
No, I love this.
Yeah, it's actually really amazing.
Yeah, is there anything that we'd like to clarify or get more detail on?
I don't know, it feels really clear to me.
It does feel really clear to me.
This is just like a strong, powerful feminine energy that has found the right timeline to express itself to me.
And if you're not feeling that empowered right now, this is your message to be empowered.
Yeah, no, the love is here. The love is all here. It's waiting to be released.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Hiya and welcome if you chose Oh my gosh, who even knows what that is? This little indeterminate chip of rock.
It is very colorful and very beautiful and very shiny.
All things that it is. So this is your reading group 5. We're going to start with some energy from your past life and then compare it to where you are currently.
Okay, so let's start with some archetype cards. We have, the Knight. Maybe a little bit more of a
Seeker?
Yeah, a seeker or a romantic vibe with this one.
That's nice.
Oh, yep. The lover.
Oh, weird.
And the Virgin.
Not weird, but maybe you had like some lofty-minded principles that you devoted yourself to.
I mean, this is what you get when we don't know it's coming. Even if we pre-shuffle, we don't look.
Unless they come out face up, and then we're supposed to look. That's allowed.
Yeah, it just feels like you had a lot of love, but you also had a lot of rules around what that meant for you. Like a huge sense of what is correct.
I mean, that definitely resonates with knights and the code of chivalry. Like, so, you could love someone, but within certain parameters.
Yep, you are very chivalrous. That's really nice. Okay, let's see what else. We have... Oh, okay. Competitiveness. And adaptability.
So you're definitely working within a certain framework.
And you're very good at it.
2 waxing moons, yeah, you had a lot of go-getter kind of energy here. You're very passionately motivated and idealistically motivated.
Yeah.
I mean, this makes sense with like lover and virgin. It does really remind me of courtly love, where you'd be like, the knights would be like wooing certain beautiful ladies, but it was never with the real intention of grounding anything. Like, it's that energy of chasing the ideal rather than finding union with it, almost.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. It just feels... Yeah, I guess I don't have anything to add or to counter it. It almost feels a little incomplete. I know it's early in this reading, but I do kind of want to clarify.
Oh yeah, go for it. We could pull cards now.
Yeah, so let's just go straight into your
tarot.
Into your tarot for your past life energy. I know this isn't completely on camera. Just because I am so curious.
Yeah, with these 2 waxing moons, there's this starting energy, but we don't really know where you ended up.
Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups, the Grandmother of Discs, and the Chariot. Okay, so this just, it feels like you built your community and established yourself in it, and you were a unique person within it. The 7 of Cups is your bottom deck energy, so maybe there was just a lot.
Feels like there's a lot of unlived potential with Virgin.
I was just about to say, like, a little bit unfulfilled. Like, maybe you started out in this life with a lot of ideals about how the world works and how you should interact with it and in it. And then with the 3 of Cups and the Grandmother and the Chariot, they're both, like, older energies. And so you lived out your whole life and you did it to the best of your ability, but there's just this untapped potential. And I'm wondering if that will come into your present life and fulfill itself.
With the 3 of Cups, it feels like you never necessarily settled down to ground. Well, I don't know, because the 3 of Cups and the Grandmother Discs feel like such different energies, because this is like the idea of having a home and a family and something to tend to, whereas the 3 of Cups is more about like exploration and pleasure, and it's not necessarily super intimate, almost.
No, these both have a family vibe to me, and that you were within the confines of this family, sort of a unique character, but there's just, with the adaptability and competitiveness, it just feels like that manifested itself as this chariot energy. But I don't know why, but I just feel like there's this lack, like there's just a little bit something more that is needed here. And so I actually kind of want to see if we can connect that energy, if it flows through here. Okay, so we have integrity, which really does go well with the Knight. We have time out.
Well, yeah, it feels like you were really, really motivated in your past life with 2 waxing moons, the Knight and the Chariot. Like you were always trying to explore and find more and discover new territory with Virgin, almost. And maybe you didn't really tend to what you already had with the Grandmother of Discs, or what was already present within your life.
Yeah, you might have always been looking forward to what the next new thing was and didn't maybe have a lot of time to appreciate what you had. That Chariot energy, and that Knight and Virgin energy are all very like moving forward into new territory. And so maybe you even had like a family and something to tend to, but it wasn't as exciting as new unknown possibilities ahead. So the universe here, as your connecting energy, it says that there's a little bit of a reckoning happening with integrity and time out.
Yeah, I'm just seeing this eagle on this person's shoulder, kind of grabbing onto them and like forcing them to stay still almost. It's like you're being forced to stay in one place. Whereas in the past, it maybe you were all over the board. You're drawn. You may have just been like one of those people who fell in love with something and ran after it, and then like saw something new and then ran after that a little bit.
It does feel like a very sort of like masculine energy to me.
Yeah, it does.
Like a very forward-moving energy. There might have been like a job that took you overseas for a really long time, and then you would come back, and so you were very used to sort of coming and going. And this Grandmother and 3 of Cups energy just wasn't something that you had to participate in. You would just check in with it every once in a while and go off and continue doing your own thing.
Yeah, with the 3 of Cups, it was like it was here for your pleasure, but not necessarily here for your like deeper growth. Yeah,
I agree. Okay, let's do a comparison.
So in your present life, what we have for you is networker. So it does feel like you're still out here, you're still doing things, communicating with people, getting to know them. We also have rebel. So you do still have this free-spirited energy moving forward. And then we have a black moon revision. So if you are experiencing blockages in this lifetime, it's because we need to like rethink the energy that we had before. You're kind of being forced. Yeah, you're being forced into a timeout, really. I feel like you're still carrying forward this energy of the Knight and the Chariot in this lifetime.
Yeah, figuring out how to use it in more productive and communal ways with networker, where before it just felt very much like an independent energy and you were accomplishing goals that might have involved people, but once the goal was accomplished, it didn't quite matter that they were people. Networker very much includes other people's perspectives and how different types of energies interconnect together.
Yeah.
And then rebel means that you might be sort of leading the charge or creating the space for these connections to happen.
Yeah, with rebel being upside down, it does this figure being upside down, it feels like you are kind of the same energy you were before, but you're kind of turning it on its head and expressing it in a more productive way, more communal way. And this is an Aquarius energy, so Aquarians can be kind of really very, very independent, very, very focused on themselves and their own uniqueness, or they can be very, very communally oriented, because Aquarius is connected to the 11th house, which is all about networking, social groups, and social causes. So it's kind of up to you to kind of expand that energy outward in a more communal way in this lifetime. Revising it. We also have the dream. Oh my god, that's very Aquarian to me as well, this utopian vision almost. And then we have, do not meddle in the affairs of wizards, for they are subtle and quick to anger. So being mindful of the way your energy affects the people around you.
hugely important in this lifetime.
Yeah, and maybe in the past life you didn't really necessarily experience the repercussions of that.
No, it just seems like you did what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it, and now you're sort of treading lightly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're co-creating with people where you're both kind of equally powerful, it feels like. Or that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. No, you're very aware of power dynamics. You're very aware of how people see themselves in the world and how they interact with their perception of reality, and you know how to talk with them, which is hugely powerful. Can we get some clarifying tarot?
I do feel like in this lifetime, if you experience blockages, it's because you are meant to sort of change your...
Yeah, slow down. Make sure that you're not you're probably too quick for other people. In all honesty, like, you can think faster and plan faster than other people, but if you want to be an effective networker, it is meeting people at their level and appreciating their gifts for what they are, and seeing that moving fast isn't the only way through life.
Yes.
The Tower. Okay. Yeah, and so maybe your humbling wasn't necessarily something that you had planned for or even wanted.
No, I don't think so.
Because you have this, like, huge let's go for it energy. With this Eight of Wands. But there's this perception and this realization that things aren't the way that they used to be, and that maybe there's time for a transition.
Changing what the dream is. I think this one was next.
Okay. So yeah, with the Six of Cups.
It has to involve other people.
No,
really.
Completely. Now you're much more people-oriented. You're looking for where you fit in with other people and how you can help and protect them and support them with this emperor.
I mean, you may be a leader, but an emperor is nothing without the actual empire that they lead, and you can't do this alone.
No.
Your battle deck energy is the Two of Pentacles, like back to basics is kind of the vibe with you in terms of how you relate to others and ground your connections.
Well, there's a lot of power in simply being able to balance yourself. And, you know, our times are very chaotic, and so just having both feet on the ground and knowing where you stand in this world can be enough of a rebellious act to set all this off. It doesn't have to be anything too extreme. But yeah, your sense of community and other people are incredibly important to you now.
Yeah, I feel like we need to kind of clear old dead matter that you may have been carrying over for a past life to make room for new connections that will actually create positive growth. Because you can kind of grow exponentially, but it's kind of like you're kind of growing in the ether. Like you're kind of growing in this sterile kind of world of thought forms of the mind with all this like airy energy here, and you're not really creating an actual worthwhile empire is kind of the feeling that I get from it.
Okay, so there needs to be... So the Tower could kind of come as like a warning, or as, well, just is. Like either you're going to take care of this, or you're going to set yourself up, or life is going to take care of it for you.
Yeah, with this like black moon, like there is going to have to be some kind of change in mindset. And either you're going to usher it in through balancing your energy and moving forward in a very slow, steady, balanced way.
Know where you're putting your feet before you take your next step. You're not just charging forward anymore. You are planning your next moves. You're very aware, or should be aiming towards being very aware of where you are and how you affect other people. So I guess that is the other aspect of this. If you are not currently a people watcher and very aware of how you are affecting your community, it might be time for you to see how your energy is actually interconnecting with other people, especially if you're the type of person that is holding yourself back or just really inwardly focused. It might be time to look to the outside of you to see what mirrors are there for self-reflection. Because how you interact with the community and how that community responds to you does give you some potential insights.
Yeah, this transformational energy is linked with the Six of Cups. It's linked through connections that are really meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what creates this like Emperor energy. It's like you can't really get to this level on your own. And I don't think you got to this level on your own in a past life. Honestly, like there was a lot of movement, a lot of journeying, but it didn't necessarily ground into anything as meaningful as this like Emperor energy.
No, it almost felt like, yeah, you took for granted the resources that you had available to you in a past life, and now in this life you need to grow and move forward, to have integrity. You need to be able to appreciate where your power comes from, and that is a little bit of a different mindset than you're used to, but it is incredibly worthwhile and incredibly fulfilling with the Six of Cups.
Yeah, I mean, to go from being a knight to being the Emperor, I feel like it is what you want, honestly. It's just that you can't necessarily find the direction on your own, even if you think you can.
I almost get like this feeling that like even if you were the quarterback in high school or whatever, it's hard to be something else when you're in life, when you're used to being this really important, fast-moving energy, to being something that is slow, methodical, thoughtful, not the star of the show. You're just a player in it now.
I mean, the Emperor implies like leadership and importance, but at the same time, the Emperor can be a very behind-the-scenes energy, like someone who orchestrates things.
Power behind the throne.
Yeah, organizes things. And the Emperor certainly does not work alone. There's a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah, I guess the message that I feel would be that you are creating, like you're older now, and you're creating opportunities for other people to shine. And that can be incredibly fulfilling if you're willing to let go of being the shining star yourself.
Yeah, that's true. This dream energy over here isn't created all by one person, just for one person.
No, there's a lot that goes into the production of the play. Yeah.
So that is the reading that we have for you?
I think so.
Yeah.
It feels pretty clear. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks for watching.